Recording. Okay. Let's get the other machine recording, the backup machine. That's working. This one's working. Cool. One more. All right. So Marjorie, if you want to talk to us, you can just say yes to being a panelist.
Yes, hello.
Yeah, just say yes to be a panelist, then you can join us.
Okay.
Then switch the video on the bottom left. Okay.
Is that good?
Yeah, it sounds good. Okay.
Okay.
All right. And then let's get underway. All righty. Thanks for your patience, everybody. So I'm just going to adjust my webcams. Screen share is going to start in a minute with a presentation. Come up. Okay. You can reshape your webcams on the right. Just click on the 3x3 little matrix and then you can reshape. All right. So welcome to Soul Contract Reading question and answer session. This is pretty much an open session. Ask questions about the book, Your Soul Contract Decoded, and the work in general. I'm Nicolas, David, and Ngan of the Centre for Conscious Ascension. I'm going to read out a little spiel for the guys who are going to watch this cold on YouTube, just so they know what's going on. Then it'll be much more informal otherwise. Okay. And just going to reshape the presentation a little bit. All right. Okay. So this is for book readers and anyone interested in this work has burning questions about the book and the spiritual philosophy around it. Because we get a ton of questions, but we thought it was better to have a live session so everyone could benefit from the answers. Okay, so it comes from the book Your Soul Contract Decoded, which actually hit #1 again last month in June on Amazon.com in the main New Age Mysticism channel, which was really good. 10 years after it was launched, so I thought that was a good day when I found that it happened. One of the book readers had made a lovely TikTok video and got 700,000 views in about 2 days. So I was pretty pleased to hear that. Okay, and the purpose of this call is so you can go deeper into this work. Ask whatever you want about it. I know some of you guys are interested in learning more about the book. Some of you are interested in coming on the training. Some may just be curious. That's wherever you are. We'll answer it. So this is the purpose of this one. I'm hard to get hold of because it's pretty busy, which is why we make these webinars available to you guys. So first I'll say, yeah, that's why I'm here. So I want to find out why you are here, and then that'll sort of set the energy of how we flow the webinar, because every one of these is different. Okay, this is your webinar, so yeah, and tell me where you are, what brought you here, and what you'd like from it. Then we'll set a group intention. So anything goes, obviously within reason, and no question is there are no silly questions. And my aim is to help you grow in consciousness and help the world grow in consciousness. This is why we do this work. Okay, so if you want to ask a question, you can either put it in it's better to actually ask it out loud if you can. Guys on the video, just wait, give me a big airport wave, okay? So I can see you. And if you are in the attendee room, okay, Marjorie, if you want to join us, you can just
Let's see.
Just say yes to being a panelist.
All right.
Then you can see you got your mic on. If you guys are in the attendee room, just say your name first, so I know who it is, because there are a lot of people here. And then I'll say yes, let's hear from you as well. Okay, it's better to actually have it live. Otherwise, if you're feeling a little shy, which is fine, just put it in the chat, and then I will read out. I'll read out whatever you're saying. Okay. Right. Who wants to go first and just sharing why you're here? Okay. So it's up to you. What you put in, you'll get out of this thing. Okay. Melissa, you look like you're reaching for the mouse. Okay.
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, I'm super curious. My son has got me kind of into numerology and life path, and I feel like, there's just so much more to it, and somehow came across a YouTube video and also a Gaia video, and super eager to purchase the book, but it's been on back order pretty much everywhere I've contacted in the States. I did find one in the UK. It should be coming sometime in mid-August. So I'm super excited for that. I did do a mini taster reading, and wow, I was just blown away. I feel like readings that I've had before, it just super connected with what I might be, blowing her name. Antonio.
Antigone.
Yeah, and it really blew me away, and I just wanted more. And so I'm super excited to learn more and go deeper into pretty much, why I'm here, what my power is, what my cons and what my pros are. And I feel like once I really can balance both of those and just work with the duality, I just can be like such a better parent.
Okay. All right. Where are you, Melissa?
I'm in Denver, Colorado.
Okay. They look nice.
So,
nice and sunny. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we can help you with that. So yeah, the book is sold out simply because of it went to #1 on Amazon.com. So the publisher reckons by the end of July they should be done a print run and be back in stock on Amazon.co.uk, where I am. Amazon.com and Barnes & Noble probably won't be till September, beginning of September. They're hoping earlier, but it does physically take time to print them. So, but if you're after the book, or someone's after it, get the Kindle for now. Okay, so at least you can read it. But it's a book where you need to flick backwards and forwards, and just people tend to get both. They get the Kindle, it's got something, and then the paperback's good later because you will flick back and forth. It's a reference book. So the Kindle obviously is immediately available now, so you can get into it anyway.
Okay.
That's the best solution we can offer you. So yeah.
That's a good idea. I will do that. I will get the Kindle and then just wait for my book to come from the UK. I think it's August 15th. So
yeah, I checked all the Amazon. I checked it globally, and it's sold out completely. So yeah, okay. Thank you. Who's next?
I'll go next.
Prejon, yep. Where are you?
I'm in Virginia.
Okay, yep.
I'm here mostly. I did my own decoding. I found the book probably about a month ago, almost 2 months ago.
Yeah.
And I read it all in a day just because I found it pretty fascinating. And yeah, I really just wanted to come hang out and see who else was going to be interested in this kind of stuff, say hi, and learn more.
Okay, welcome. All right. Who else wants to check in? Set intention here.
Okay.
I want to check in.
Jezreel. Yep. Is it Jezreel? I couldn't tell who was talking. Who?
Me, Maisha.
Yeah, Misha. Okay. Misha.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah.
So I read the book and I wanted to learn more about optimizing my name.
Yeah.
And to align with my life purpose. And I'm from California.
Okay. Welcome. All right. Who's next? Remember to wave at me like this. Okay.
Oh, that
Okay.
was
Carolyn.
Hi there. Hi, everybody. Well, I'm here in Brighton in the UK. And I think I'm here because, to be honest, I've already done the training, but I did it with Blue in 2017, something like that, 2018.
Yeah.
And at the time, I had lots of bereavements and lots of things going on in my life. So it was just on the back burner. And I just thought I'd really like to check in with you because although I did the training already with Blue, I felt that there was some maybe things that were missing. So I was hoping that maybe you'd be able to fill in those bits. And that's why I'm here.
Okay. I'll explain what happened there. So
yeah.
about 2002, Blue came to Amira and Amira Ariel Halle, who developed the work with me, and I had received the original transmission from Frank Harper, the founder, back in 1990 in Arizona. Brought it to the UK and was developing it with Amira. Then Blue trained as one of our practitioners, and then he wanted to learn how to teach it. So we gave him the transmission of how it was 21 years ago, okay? And his emphasis is on making it more accessible in plain English, okay? Where we maintaining the original transmission as Frank Harper transmitted it to us as part of his lineage to keep it as pure as possible in the interpretation, okay? We did ground some of the terminology a bit, but we did our very best to maintain it as it came through him from the soul of Moses, which is why there's a big difference, okay? Because it's offering it to different audiences, okay? So the book you have, you guys, is based upon the training which I received from Frank, and in terms of the interpretations, we kept it as pure as we could, which is why it's very, very, very powerful. Okay, so each teacher has a different filter, different view on it. So you got Blue's view on it. Okay, so the way we teach it is that we transmit the work. We transmit it to activate you into the work. Okay, it's a different. That's how we train it. So it's not about learning more what's in the book. It's about becoming it. Okay, it's completely different. It's full body experiential training. So we activate it in your DNA, in your energy fields, and in your consciousness. So you remember how to do this because you've done it before, or if you do come on the training. It's specifically for you, Caroline. And then we teach it by you hearing about the chart, the different aspects of the charts for each class member. We go through, hopefully, if you have enough people, we go through all the 22 numbers. So you hear viscerally what each number was like. What was it like to be disempowered with a 9? What was it like to be unworthy with a 3? Or what was it like to hide away being a karmic 7? And you'll never forget that because someone's bared their heart and shared with you what it was like. So in the first 3 days, you become the work. And then in the last 2 days, we teach you how to hold space to channel from your guidance and from higher self what in this case, your fellow student needs to hear. And you'll be amazed what will come out of your mouth, because then you'll suddenly realize you've become the work. Okay, so this is the difference between, it's a vast difference between what's done, because we've evolved this obviously in 21 years. It's taken us that 30 odd years to work out how to teach it. So that's why there's a big difference. Does that help? Yep. Okay. All right, who's next?
Intuitively, that's what I thought. So thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So it's just everyone looks at it in a different way. It's normal, and you get changes in work over time, but we try to maintain it at the highest possible level. Okay, so it's not lost. Okay. All right. Who else would like to check? I'd like to hear from the rest of you guys. Caroline, where are you?
Hi everyone, I'm from California and I read the book, and it's actually intriguing to see how it replicates who we truly are.
Yeah.
And the stuff that we have to do and the stuff we have to learn and the stuff that we're here to accomplish, our talents and stuff. So I'm just intrigued to see or to get more information from you about the charts.
Okay, we can do that. All right, who else wants to check in? Gajela, and then Jen, and then Jezreel.
Yeah, I basically, I did read the book and been taking notes and looking at the chart. And 7 years ago, I changed my name. So I'm looking for direction as to, I feel I've pretty much identified with my birth name and accomplished most of those challenges and growth spurts and understandings of what my soul destiny was. Does it make sense to now switch over and look at the chart for my new name that I've been living for the last 7 years and really do a deeper dive with that name? Because I I know you don't talk about in the book overlays or, and I don't understand how you do that. Does that make sense for me to switch over and start trying to live from that new name and understand where I've tweaked my name to realign to a little bit different focuses?
Yeah, the book, Watkins, the publisher, said, Nicolas, you got 70,000 words. And I wrote about over 100,000 for the book. Okay, so there was only enough room in the book to explain a name for the birth certificate only. Okay, so it does not cover the current name you have. It does not cover overlays because that's much more complex. You can think of the birth name, your birth certificate names as like the cake of your life. And the different names you have, like the commonly used name from birth, we don't use our middle name, or your married name, or many different name changes you have through life, especially for women. They're like different layers of icing on the cake of your life. So I started writing the second book, but then I realized this is so complex, I can't explain it in a book. I had all the structure worked out. I was starting to write it. But it got so complicated that I realized that the only way to learn it is actually to receive that information is either in a reading, like an overlay reading, a birth and overlay reading, okay, Kajela, or learn it in a training, because it was not technically possible to write it because it's too complex. So you need to either learn it as a skill yourself or have a skilled practitioner explain it to you, because the permutations are so complex once you get into relationships with people, the energy dynamics, that you're trying to explain it all in a box. It's not going to work. So yeah, suggest a personal reading is the best way with a practitioner. It's the best way.
Do you cover that when you order a full report, a written report?
Yeah, the Soul Contract Reports service, we call it yoursoulcontractreport.com, is based upon the book. It only covers birth certificate readings because it's the first version of the software we have. But it has a lot of guidance. We wrote a lot of guidance based on the feedback from people, the first users of it. So it's basically, once you've done the book once for your own name, people saying to me, can I just press a button? I want to do my 10 members of my family. I don't want to have to go through the whole book again. So we said, okay, we'll do something about that. But it's taken 6 years to build it. So it will actually provide PDF reports at the press of a button, literally. Well, you have to just, it takes 7 days at the moment, but it'll be automated eventually. You can just go straight on the site and produce the reports. Later on, probably many years later, we will produce a version of it. Once I figured out how to do it, to actually do the overlay readings automatically. But we don't know how feasible that is. We have to go and test it. So at the moment, the best option is just to have a live overlay reading to answer those questions. That's the quickest way to get there. Okay. Jen, welcome. Nice to see you again.
Yeah, good to see you, Nicolas. Congratulations, #1 again. I came across your book probably just shortly after it first came out. So I've read it like almost 10 years ago, and I still have your book, and I've come across soul contract stuff through other things like divine healing, and also I have had a reading and things like that. And I guess I keep missing your trainings for whatever reason, timing just, so hopefully I can make your next one this coming year. My main thing that I have that keeps coming up as I'm looking at the soul contract stuff is mostly like the phonetics, because in the book, it has that chart, and then it has like the Hebrew and everything, and I simply not really sure how to do like foreign names and do the phonetics, and it's a guess on my part, and so it's sort of like that's where I would like more information on in terms of like pronunciation and putting things together in the best way possible, I guess.
Okay. Got it. All right.
I think I remember there was something, I remember reading something that there was some like a foreign language thing on your website, and I remember searching for a while back, and I don't think I ever came across it. So that's where I was still kind of lost a little bit.
All right. I'll answer that now. So basically, the soul contract work is designed to take a name, a normal English name or North American English name, as it's spelled, uses the assumption that it's pronounced as it's written, which is 99% of those sort of names, if it's an English-based name. Okay, and that will produce the chart. If you have a non-English name like Spanish, French, German, Chinese, in your case, you can still use the name as it's written in the Roman alphabet. Okay, all right, to get what we call an as-spelt reading. Okay, but the other thing we have is what we call phonetic names, where we work out the equivalent written English as it's pronounced to match the sounds of Spanish or French, which are quite different to English or Chinese. And there's a thing called the Name Assistant Service, but I'll post that on the YouTube description where you can get that. Okay. So basically, an experienced practitioner who's trained in working out those names, okay, in written English is pronounced to match whatever language you've got, will for a fee figure that out for you and send it back to you. Okay, so that's how you do that, Jen. And if you come on the training, then all practitioners have the option of coming on the phonetic support and development training, where we teach you how to do that skill. Okay, because about 30% of the names that are analyzed on the software are actually non-English. Okay, so we teach the practitioners, if they want to do that. So you have an as-spelt name, which is more personality-based, and you can do that on the software as it is now, the soulcontractreader.com software you guys use. But we teach the practitioners how to do a phonetic name, which is much more spiritually based. It's more of the higher purpose of the soul. We discovered this recently in the past couple of years. So you still get a good reading from as it's spelled, but you get another deeper layer, a higher consciousness layer of what the real purpose of the lifetime is about. Okay, so basically, if you have a non-English name, you actually have two charts. That's what we've discovered. Because the written word is very powerful, but the original sound, which is how it is in Spanish, French, or Chinese, is the original name. Okay, I hope that helps. So it's not as simple as that. It's not that simple, it turns out. That's what we've discovered.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So hopefully I can get to it. I can't do the phonetics training without doing the soul contract training first.
You won't understand a word I'm saying. Okay.
Yeah.
You need to have grasped the essential meaning of the 22 numbers to be able to get on the phonetics training. Okay. I will be speaking gobbledygook to you. So
right. Thanks.
All right. Jezreel, where are you?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Hi, I'm from New York.
Yep.
And I wanted to ask a question. What are you supposed to do after you do the reading on your name? How do you start helping yourself and stuff?
Basically, you take the recommendations that come out of the book or from the soul contract report, and pick the ones which resonate with you. You look at the 7 aspects, which ones are running strongest for you. Then pick the recommendations for that one, because there's a whole bunch of them, but only some of them will resonate. Pick the ones that resonate, that come up strongly for you, and put them into action. So then you can start transmuting the karmic or the issues within the karmic pattern, or bring more talents online, or then to achieve your goals. Okay, so that's actually how you use the material. Okay, and if you want a more specific custom-based one, then you probably need a reading from a practitioner, so they can take you from exactly where you are with the challenges you're facing and work out a very focused step-by-step plan for moving forward. Okay, but I wrote the book to make it accessible to lots of people, And we developed a reports service as well to make it accessible as well, because a lot of people wanted it, but some said, well, I can't afford a live reading. So that's why we came up with the different ways of doing it. I hope that helps.
Thank
Yep.
you.
Okay. Carly, you have to unmute and then fire away with your question. It should be a little dialog box come up on your screen. Just click it and then you'll be able to speak. There you go.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hi. Hello. Sorry, I'm just early for me, so my camera's off today.
All right.
I'm just getting up. I did one of the webinars with Galenol, and it was my first time. I haven't actually read the book, but I'm interested in finding out more of how to interpret the chart and kind of what it means for me, because I've had a lot of things going on the last few years, and just raises a lot of questions for me. So I'm interested to see how it all interprets. I'm kind of a newbie here, so I'm here to soak up some knowledge and learn about what it's all about.
Okay, you can do that. All right. Anyone else from the attendee group want to introduce themselves either by voice or on the chat before we get into the next stage of it? No, you guys just watching it's fine. Okay. Right. Okay. So, let me see. Okay. Actually, just let's see. Are there any other questions people have for now? Any other questions that? Oh yeah, Misha, you're asking about name optimization. Okay. So if you want to switch on the mic, I'll answer that question.
Yes.
What specifically do you want to know about that? So I can answer that.
Do I change my last name, or I don't know, because I feel like I'm dealing with like a lot of karma right now.
Yeah.
I changed my name from my paternal last name to my mother's maiden last name.
Yep.
Things got a little better, but I feel like it's still a bunch of stuff. I don't know how to explain it. I just been dealing with a lot of stuff lately.
Yeah.
In my life, period. So I'm trying to figure out how can I get past it.
Okay. All right. Have you had a reading from a practitioner?
No.
Okay. I would recommend a reading from one of the practitioners to give you a full understanding of where you are now in your birth certificate name, and to look at all the significant names you've used through time up till now and your significant relationships. Okay, this is not in the book. Okay. This is overlay readings too. And what they will find is they'll look for the 2 or 3 key energy patterns that repeat in our relationships. Because what we do is that we contract with all these people in our lives, all the ones who are already in our face, who are challenging and love us and hate us and all the other stuff that goes on, to grow. And so out of that complex energy soup of interactions between people, all these people, there'll be some repeating patterns which your soul wants to go through, which will probably not be apparent in the birth chart. And so what you're looking for is what it's called pattern recognition. We're looking for the repeating themes that go forward in time. And then that's going to give us some idea, or a practitioner idea, well, what numbers do you need in the optimal name? Because the idea of the optimal name is to put a layer of energy icing on your birth name, okay, that will infuse the correct frequencies to heal your karma and transmute it into your gift of service, help you reach balance online, help you achieve your goals, and ultimately achieve your soul destiny, to help you fully actualize this life, so that you carry out why you manifest the gift of service you were born to do. And that'll come out of that process. So you overlay reading, and then name optimization follows. And because your soul already, each of you already has within you an optimal name that will fully actualize your potential. It's just about working with a practitioner to actually get to it. It's like carving one of those big pieces of white marble and a Michelangelo sculpture comes out of it. It's in you already. You just got to
Right.
get to it. And then that new name will, it'll press on a lot of your karmic patterns initially, but as it comes on, as they get cleared, as it comes online, then it will start to manifest a completely different life, the life you were meant to live, much more fulfilling life. And all the stuff you just talked about then, obviously, like, well, that's just a faint, not so bad memory anymore, because
Right.
that name will sit in your energy fields, a new name, and it will radiate out to the matrix, and it will create a completely different reality.
Okay.
Basically, you can reprogram your life for that. So,
And I can find a practitioner on your website?
if you just contact me on the contact page with the
Okay.
actually, no, if you go to the name optimization page, okay, on the website, have you seen that page on the website?
Yes, I've seen that page.
Okay, so just apply. I have to look at it. I can't even remember what's on it. Let me just check. Let me just double check it. I'll tell you how to go about it. We'll find someone for you. Okay. So
Okay.
we would go to sessions, soul contract reading. I think. Let me see how's this page built. Okay. All right. That's for having a session with me. So you could either have a session with, you could have a reading with me. The first part is a reading with me, if you want to work with me. Okay. And then once you've absorbed that, then we do the name optimization session afterwards. It's another session.
Mhm.
Or if you want me to find your practitioner, just click on contact here and fill this form in here. And when you fill it in, what I need from you is to put in here your full birth certificate name, okay?
Okay.
All right. And your current name, and then we'll use the soul contract work to find you a compatible practitioner who's a good match for energy. Okay.
Okay.
That's how we do it. All right.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah. If you're being drawn to it, your soul is wanting to, is saying, okay, it's time for a change, Misha. I want to get on with it. You probably feel
Right.
that inside, like there's a bit of a push.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's probably not getting any weaker, it's probably getting stronger. It's the way
Yeah, it's getting very stronger.
Yeah.
Where I'm getting irritated because it's like, okay, I don't know exactly, what direction to go into.
Yeah. So
My soul knows, but I just don't know like the proper steps,
yeah. Well, now you got them, and you can change your life completely. Actually, my life changed completely when I changed my name in 2006. It got me to what's going on now, having struggling, okay, to stay afloat,
Right.
as a single parent, to actually having a global teaching business now. So it's made a massive difference. So different life altogether. So
All right. Well, I appreciate you. Thank you.
doable, quite doable. Any other questions? Jen, another question. Yep.
I was wondering how, well, everybody has their own soul contract numbers. How do the numbers interact with each other with another person?
Well, that's what we learn in level 2. It takes 4 days to learn how to do that.
All right.
But basically the numbers flow from the same as the 7 aspects in someone's chart. They flow across to the other person and they interact in either a positive, negative, or neutral way. I mean, you all know how intense relationships are. That's because the numbers are either clashing or they're complementary or they're a mixture of both. So that's what we learn in level 2. How do all the numbers interact? And so it's all to do with the relative quality, power, and level of consciousness of the numbers. That's what we teach in level 2. Okay. About overlays and relationship reading. So it's there's a lot to it.
Mm-hmm.
A lot to it. Yeah, it's not a simple answer.
All right. I like to jump ahead, I guess.
I know you do. Melissa, another question.
Hi, I do. So I did do that taster reading, going over my soul contract. I think it was like 15 minutes. And then she went into a little bit what the training one would go into. But my question is she went with my birth name, and I have been married for 25 years. So
Yes.
I'm curious if the reading I got, the taster, was just kind of when I came into this world, how my soul was. And now that with me being married for 25 years, there has been a shift that may have been missed from that taster reading. So my question is that, and then secondly,
let's do the first question, okay? One question at a time. So the taster is only on your birth certificate name to give you a feel for the overall potential for the lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
See, the soul contract work is latent potential initially, then it actualizes, but the pace which actualizes depends on your free will choice, all of you, to grow, to face the challenges or avoid them, or a bit of both, or numb out, whatever, it's painful. Growth can be painful when tough stuff comes up. So that's what it does. So it will say nothing about the married name, simply because it requires a lot more time than and energy exchange than a taster reading does. So to answer that, you really need to have a birth and overlay reading with Antigone, because she already knows who you are from the taster. That's the best way to find it. Okay.
Okay. So then the next step, because I am wanting to enroll in the training, the level 1, but meanwhile, I think she mentioned that maybe it might be good to hold off because we would be doing that in the training. But I'm so curious with my married name, because it's been literally 25 years with my birth name, and now like this back half I've been married, and I'm just really curious because I feel like I've found so much growth just in the last 3 years. Just finding my ascension and intuition has just really blew up. So yeah, I don't need to change my name or anything like that. I just really want to find out more, just even my little family soul contract. So just finding out. So do you think it's best for me to do a optimization reading before the training, just to come in with more knowledge?
It's entirely up to you. You got to feel it, what your heart opens to. I'm kind of like what Jen said. I want to be one step ahead all the time. I can hear that. I can hear that. Yeah. So the way it works is that comes to the level 1 training in October. Okay. And then what Antigone was referring to is we run one level 2, which is the overlay reading stuff you guys are interested in. And it'll be about June or July 2024. Okay. So if you can wait till then you'll learn how to do it yourself. Okay. And the cost of the training is usually less than the cost of doing a one-on-one session to work it out, because it can take quite a while. That's why a lot of practitioners actually learn to do it themselves. So they've got 2 for the price of 1. They've got a training and their optimal name. It's if you can wait that long.
I see.
All right. Or you could do a birth and overlay reading with her whenever you feel right, when it feels right. It's a matter of what your soul wants to do. I mean, just try it on your heart and see what opens the heart the most, and that will be your answer. I can't say one way or the other, because each of you has your own unique path in terms of growth.
Perfect. So if I get the Kindle before I get my book, the Kindle download, I would be able to just dig more into my current one that I did, the taster.
Yeah, there'll be plenty there. There's 70,000 words. There's plenty to keep you out of mischief with the book.
Till October. Okay.
As it is. Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Okay. Next question. Otherwise, we're going to go to the next phase. Carolyn, you going to ask me another question?
Yeah, just briefly, you might be following on with this, but you were just talking about doing level 1 and then level 2. So how many levels of training are there?
There are 3 levels. So I'll explain the levels. Okay. All right. So we'll do this. Okay. So here's how it works. All right, so the first level is 5 days, as I explained to you before. And the idea of that is to activate the 22 numbers in you and to be able to give a good birth reading, which pretty much most people can do by the time they leave. And with a bit of practice, they can turn into a your spiritual practice or your business if you were interested in doing that as a practitioner. Okay. And then when we used to teach all 3 levels in 1 week, but then we realized people weren't absorbing it. So Mira and I redesigned the course. So you have time in this level 1 training to integrate it. So I mean, the next one, when does it run? Give you some idea how we do this now. That runs 25th to 27th of October. It's the first 3 days of receiving the transmission through demo readings. You have a day off because you need a break. It's pretty strong energetically because you're sitting in the frequencies of God, 22 numbers, frequencies of God with the Hebrew. And the 29th and 30th of October, you'll practice with each other. And if you're in Asia Pacific watching it, oh yeah, that one runs 12:30 to 8:30 p.m. UK. So that's 7:30 a.m. Eastern, 4:30 a.m. Pacific. We do that because we have to reach from California out to Poland and Russia and India. Okay, but if you guys are watching it are in the Asia Pacific area, anywhere from the Middle East out to New Zealand, we're running a new program there. Same program, different time though. 26th to 28th of April and the 4th or 5th of May. It's over 2 weekends. And that will start at 6 a.m. UK, which is 3 p.m. in Sydney, Australia, and run to 11 p.m. in Sydney. So it works well for the Australians and New Zealanders. Okay, but we get people from everywhere: Southeast Asia, India, Middle East. So other 2 trainings. So those will run, and then you need some time to practice and integrate. And then level 2 builds upon level 1, where it will show you all the hidden dynamics of relationships and the impact of the different names you've used, common name from birth, married names, okay, and also teach name optimization over 4 days. Okay, so this is where it gets really juicy and interesting. Okay, because everyone wants to know about their relationships. How does my family work? Why do my kids do what they do? How do I manage my children? How to manage all my friends and ex-partners and, you know, the real interesting stuff in life. So that runs once a year. And the next one will be, let me take a look. Let me just stop sharing the screen because it's easier to actually access the calendar without that. I'll tell you the next one. It's middle of next year. So you need that much time just to practice. Basically get up to speed with it. The next one runs provisionally. Wait for the calendar to load, and I'll tell you. The next one will run. Where is it gone? It's gone and disappeared. Oh, here it is. July. It'll run provisionally 25th to 28th of July 2024. That'll be the next one. Okay. It's level 3. Oh, sorry, level 2. And so you've got the second transmission, okay? And then the third one, level 3, is the third and final transmission. It takes 3 transmissions to fully activate the work, but you'll still do a lot with the first and second level transmissions. The third level is about, in addition to being the final activation, because the universe activates in 3s, and that final transmission helps you become the conscious embodiment of this work. And this one is here where you learn how business names work. So most of the practitioners who learn this use it to create optimal names for their businesses, their spiritual businesses, and that of their clients, so that you can attract the ideal niche of customers for their particular spiritual offering. But it can be used in 3D business, in the 3D business world as well. And so basically what we do is we help practitioners design the energy ecosystem of the names in their businesses, the legal, trading, website names, to maximize their success. So once you get that right, and provided they run a business well, the business is a lot more successful because it's naturally attracting the right people to receive whatever service they're offering. So that runs at the end of the year, and this year's one's 10th to 13th of November. Next year will be a similar sort of time, really. So if you're interested in that, Carolyn, you could do the October level 1 this year, July level 2 next year, then November level 3. Then you'd have the full transmission of the work. Okay.
Thank you for that. And you mentioned as well, I mean, I don't want to go off track, but about the divine healing, that it goes well. So would the divine healing go well with just the level 1, or do you need to do any more levels?
Well, yeah, divine healing is based on asking, you shall receive. Amir and I had both had spiritual karmic 9s, so it's very disempowering, extremely disempowering childhoods. And so we needed a powerful tool to clear this deep, dark, shadowy stuff in us. And she did a lot of research to find out where we could find that tool. But in the end, she realized she needed to develop her own tool. So she, with 2 colleagues and friends of ours, Mary and Rashan, developed divine healing, which is based on asking, you shall receive. It uses the higher self to peel the multiple layers of your ego onion created by your soul contract. Okay. And you all know how challenging that is. But we need a really powerful tool. So it's like a laser scalpel emotionally. The higher self basically directs you through the divine healing process, which is as a manual with all the different programs you can have. There's 5 of them actually. But the level 1, basically the higher self comes through you and allows you to clear whatever's presenting emotionally in you, created by the soul contract. So you can think of the soul contract as like the spiritual map of your life, where you're meant to go. And divine healing clears the pathway of all the karmic blockages in the way. So the 2 go together. So you can do a lot with divine healing 1 and soul contract 1. There's 1 in October. So a lot of the guys, practitioners, use those 2 and they create nice businesses out of that, because they give a soul contract reading and the client goes, now I know what's going on. It's all true. My God, it's true. What do I do about it? And we say, well, we use divine healing and we chip away at the programs very clearly, because the fact that someone's owned the program means you're halfway there to clearing it. And divine healing is a very powerful tool to clear the layers. So when you use both in combination, people make massive progress in their lives. So that's why we developed it.
Thank you. Yeah, that's useful. Thank you.
Helped?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. All right. Other questions before Melissa? You got another question? Yep.
I have one more in the level 3 training. We are business owners, and I'm really curious. My husband is starting another business, and I'm curious, is there practitioners that you could, or how would I go about like running our current business name and then also the one that we're currently building? I'm curious, because I do feel like, even my son brought this up 2 days ago to me. He's 19. He said, Mom, the name that Dad decides on that next business name is going to mean a lot. Yeah, well, the way you do it is that you need to have a birth and overlay reading live, and then you book a business reading. Okay. All right. So we either can find you a practitioner, depends on when you need it. You can't see me till like September, so it's always booked. But if you need something sooner, I can find you a practitioner. So that would be. I think I would like my husband. He's, his birth name. He hasn't had any name changes, and he is pretty much the CEO, of everything. So I think it would be great for me to set someone up with him. So how would I go about that on your website? How soon do you need it? I would love to do it in about 2 weeks. I know he's going down to Costa Rica to do some self-healing, and I would love to do it when he got back. Okay, so use that same contact form that I showed Misha and message me from there of what you need, and I would need your and his birth certificate and current names, because you guys run the business, and I'll match you up to somebody. It'll be someone in the USA who can handle that for you. Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right. Other questions, or I'm going to go and do a little demo of a reading. So, no? Okay. All right. Kali, are you still there? Do you want to switch on the mic?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Are you presentable yet? So I can give you a demo reading if you're presentable enough.
I mean,
You wanted to find out more about your life, but you do have to show yourself so I can connect with you.
okay. I honestly, I'm not too savvy with this, and I'm trying to even
Okay, what I'll
figure it out.
do is I will click say yes to being a panelist, then then you'll be able to switch the video on. Okay. Okay, now there you go. Something's happening. Okay, now I can see you. Okay, just keep the phone still. Okay. So are you up for this? I can give a quick taster reading that
Yes, absolutely.
Melissa was talking about. Okay, because I just want to show the guys who are not familiar with how it works. Okay. All right, and we'll talk about that. So let me get the software up. Got to come to a different window here. All right, yeah, are you okay with this? Because you're going to be on YouTube.
Oh, what? Okay.
That's a yes, is
Sure.
it? Okay.
That's fine.
All right. Okay. So this is for the guys who are not so familiar with how this works. So this is a software you can use to generate the numbers. It's called soulcontractreader.com. And we will create your name. So your current name is Kali Miller. Yeah. Okay. And what's your birth name on the birth certificate?
Callie Miller.
Same thing. Is there a middle
Yes.
name?
Margan.
Okay. Can you spell that for me, please?
Margan.
Okay. Okay. I won't put your birth date in because it's for data protection. So what's your birth sign though?
I'm a Libra.
Libra. Okay. And I'll just put you're obviously okay to do this. And the date today is the 24th. 23. All right. So you said you were new to this, so best thing to do, way to handle this is just what question do you have about your life that you want to answer? I'll give you a sort of summary reading for about 10, 15. I'll explain to everyone how the system works who are not so familiar with it.
I guess my main thing is kind of trying to figure out my path right now. I've got a lot of questions of like which way to go, and I've had a lot of stuff happen over the last couple of years that makes me feel like I'm like paying off some karma or something. But I also have someone else in my life, and I feel like we're both kind of on like a similar path, and I don't know how that like it's something predestined. Obviously I have written some contracts, and I just kind of want to know more about how I can, utilize my talents and my gifts or whatnot to make the most of my life and giving back to other people, and just my path, I guess.
All right. And
A lot of questions.
Can I ask how old you are? So I've got somebody where you're on the cycle of life.
Right now, I'm 41.
Okay. This is a good time for this. Okay. So I'm just checking. This is Margan, the middle name.
Yes.
Yes. And I've got everything else spelled right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So the way this works is that your soul reviewed all its previous lifetimes. Okay. This is all its previous lifetimes through time. And there's certain repeating themes that occurred here. Okay. In this lifetime. And it then said, oh, what am I going to do this time? for this life. Okay, and it took those themes and designed this life, and it designed a set of frequencies that were are programmed into your DNA, and they're programmed into your what a substance called karmic matrix, which is like a grey cobweb energy. It sits at the 5th, 6th, and 7th dimensional parts of you. It sits in your energy fields and it radiates out to the matrix to create each moment of your life. And so it chose your parents, it chose the time zone, it chose where you are now in the States, okay? And it created this life. And the way we decode the name is that we match the sounds of ancient Hebrew here to the sounds of the name in English, and then the 22 Hebrew the ancient Hebrew letters we use, which match the 26 letters of English. Some are doubled up, and then we extract the Hebrew numbers which are inherent within the letters. They're not allocated like normal numerology. They're inherent within it, and these frequencies we decode on the Star of David. I'm keeping this to the point, short and to the point. So basically, this is a gateway of consciousness for incarnating on Earth. And you must have one of these, those you're not allowed in. Okay. You must be qualified to come in here as well in terms of enough soul experience. And so the large downward pointing triangle represents the physical side of life. This is how you interact with the outer world. And so you spend the first 5 cycles of 7 years, which you've completed, doing this. Then to walk and talk, conditioned responses, relationships, careers, etc. And within the age of 35 and 42, the 6th cycle, which you're nearing the end of, you start asking all the questions you just asked. Why am I really here? And all the stuff I've been doing doesn't really work. And career, maybe relationships all get questioned, location, everything gets questioned. And so the soul's activating the true spiritual mission here. And it's building the spiritual triangle on top of the foundation of the physical triangle. And so it's hoping you've established a good physical foundation here in terms of getting established, because we're brand new each lifetime. Even though our souls are eternal, we as personalities are brand new. We're like an experiment in consciousness. And the soul wants to see, well, what are we going to do out of our free will choice in terms of our growth? So, and it doesn't know. If it did, it wouldn't do it. So, in each triangle, there's 3 aspects. There's karma, talents, and goals. And karma is a set of unresolved past life issues from these lifetimes up here. So says, I've had 3 goes at this. I haven't not quite done. So we're going to put another one in here. Okay. And so this creates all the karmic stuff, all the stuff we don't like, which we're all very familiar with. To see if you can overcome it, to see if you can bring consciousness to it, to transmute it into your gift of service. So the answer to your question is of real purpose is actually lying in the toughest stuff you face in your karma. The last place you would probably want to look. Okay. So you might think, well, how do I work through this stuff? Well, the latent physical talents, they activate as the karma triggers from the time you're born, and they help you work through it if it's a good match. And then as they activate, they also help you move towards the physical goals. Okay. The physical goals are what gets you out of bed in the morning, what excites you about life. So what happens is basically the energy for some physical karma to talents to goals as these activate. And in the spiritual side, the spiritual karma pattern is about how do you open to higher consciousness? How do you open to your gifts? And as you open that up, the illusion of being human, being limited, starts to diminish, and you get connected to your real purpose. And the spiritual talents helps you overcome that. If it's a good match, if it's not, that's why we have relationships, guys. You need certain frequencies. We have pre-programmed potential partners who turn up, will have the right frequency to help us break through the big challenges we face. It can be really intense as well, as you know. All right. And then the 8s, so this spiritual talents helps you overcome the spiritual goals, achieve the spiritual goals. And if you consciously work on these 6 outer aspects, which you can do once you know your soul contract, okay, then you're way ahead of the majority of humanity who has no idea what's going on. And over time, this is percentage complete. If you work on all these consciously, life gets easier. Life starts to flow and open. You know how they say youth is wasted on the young? It's because they're so embodied in dealing with their karmic patterns. And as we get older, it gets easier if we consciously work through it. If you haven't, then life gets harder. But as you work through each of the outer karmic patterns, this starts to contribute to the manifestation of the answer to your main question: what is my life purpose? Soul destiny. And this will be revealed in layers as you progress through all the outer aspects. So the book is written as the Lightworker's Manual to Earth, so you can do this. That's why I wrote it, so you guys can figure out what you're here to do and how to get there. That's what the recommendations are about. So this is your Earth manual that I wish I'd had when I first arrived here. Okay, so that's how the star works. So we basically take these numbers here and we allocate them in a clockwise spiral around the star. We add them all up. Total in spiritual karma is 16. We have 22 numbers. So the first number on this pattern is 16. This. And the second number is 1 plus 6 equals 7. So there's two frequencies here. A pure 16 and a pure 7. And that's labels for a Hebrew frequency. Yeah, this is like Ayin and Zion. And so on a given day, Carly, you'll be somewhere on this continuum between a pure 16 and a pure 7 energy. And you experience all of them, okay, over a lifetime. In the case of spiritual karma, the total is 51. Because it's greater than 22, we don't have any channel interpretations from the soul of Moses that came through Frank Alpha for that. So we get 5 plus 1 equals 6. 6 plus nothing gives another 6, so you've got a double number, which means there's one frequency of a pure 6 you're here to work through. And we figure out all the numbers other numbers accordingly. So we take the top numbers here, place them on the top half of the chart. Spiritual numbers on the bottom half. Yeah. And we add them up to get 67 and 40. 6 plus 7 is 13. 4 plus 0 is 4. That becomes your soul destiny that sits in the middle. Okay. So I'm aware of our time. So you're here, Hallie. Tell me about your relationship with your mother. About what's happening there.
She's my rock. She's really been instrumental in everything, but the last few years, especially, she's done a lot for me, and I probably wouldn't be here anywhere in any shape or form without her. She's really put herself out to help me.
Yeah,
she really cares about people and her children, and she's my rock.
Yeah. So
I don't deserve. Sometimes I feel like she deserves a better daughter. Like I don't deserve her. She's really been helping me. I've been through a lot the last couple of years, and even though she doesn't really know what to do or how to help, she's done everything in her power to be there. So
yeah. Well, you're here to learn to be worthy to receive the love of the divine feminine in the form of divine feminine aspect of God embodied through your biological mother. To be worthy to receive that. That's what this is about. That's the purpose of this life. But then you're also learn to come to that quality yourself, so you can do the same for others. Take care of others. That's the mission, the soul destiny. Okay. And to overcome blockages in your creativity and any associated addictive patterns, to learn to move out of isolation. Okay, and to use the power of the 9 here. You're actually here to manage projects to empower people. That's what this is saying here. And you're here to go out in society and make a difference from all this learning. And you are here to take high-level spiritual concepts with the 16, which is I am, bring them down to the earth plane, heal your wounded heart from childhood. Okay, this is about showing your true self and dropping the facade the ego puts up, and to share with an open heart high-level spiritual concepts in plain English to the man or woman in the street. That's what you're here to do. And to really relate to all sorts of people with that. And to give them emotional support and structure for how does life really work. How's that sound?
That resonates.
Yeah, that's why you were born.
We're have a project in the works right now that wow.
You broke up then. You said you had a project in the works. Is that what you said?
I've got something that I'm kind of been working on, and I guess I've just kind of been dragging my feet a little bit, but just not knowing, what's right.
Well, now you do. Now you know.
I have a partner. Yeah, I have someone in my personal and professional life who I've did his chart as well, and we met, and how everything in our life has been happening. It's kind of been mind-blowing and confusing and hard and awesome and beautiful, and lots of information, lots of downloads, and lots of confusion and trauma and working through things, and just a lot of everything, and very intense. So
yeah, this is all part of the training to get ready. You're here basically unconditionally love people back into wholeness. That's what you're here to do. This is all training for that. But you're doing. That's the point of it. Okay. So all that suffering is not for nothing, people. It's just your training. So don't feel that because we all get a tough time down here. It's your training. Okay. How many of you feel that your family is not your family, that you feel like the alien in the family? Hand up. Yeah. Your family is your training ground, guys. Okay. And they are here to train you, not love you. If you get some love, then you're already doing well. And it's about overcoming all the stuff that happens from that. Because then overcoming it, that's your training to bring your mission online, your gift of service. That's the point of having family, having karma. It is not, they are not here to defeat you. And your karma is not here to defeat you. It's only to be transmuted. Okay. So it's about turning into whatever's left of it, Kali. And then you'll get the gifts, and then the mission will start to happen. Okay, that's the key. But it's all a matter of willpower. It's a free will choice. Shall I get on with it or shall I not? Okay, that's the way this works. Okay, hope that helps. So,
thank you.
All right. Okay, so I saw another hand go up then. You had the hand up. No one else? Okay, any questions on that? Melissa?
You mentioned power in the number 9.
Yeah.
Since I haven't downloaded the Kindle yet, which I'm excited to do after this, can you kind of go into what power means? Is it universal power, higher self power?
Have you watched Harry Potter movies with the big black dragons on them?
Yes.
Okay. The 9 is like one of those big black dragons. Initially, it's in a cage and it can't fly. So it's about breaking out of the resistance to flying in its true power and to go out in the world and catalyze massive change. It's a raw power of the soul. Nothing can stop it once it gets flying. Okay?
So if it's in your soul destiny, is that really what your soul is here to do? Like, for instance, I feel like your power right now is, is sharing this. Or can it be just in your circle or, you know, in the star?
You broke up in the last bit. In the what?
So if it's in your soul destiny, like I saw someone, I can't remember, had a 99.
Yeah.
I'm just curious if it's really powerful, it's in your soul destiny, or is it just as powerful if it's in any of your quadrants on the star, David?
It's different in each aspect, but if it's in karma or it's in soul destiny or in goals, it means you have to break out of the cage and you have to get your dragon flying. You have to get your dragon to fire its flames. We call it flaming, where the energy has to get out and catalyze change, raising frequencies, helping people grow. That's what a dragon does. And there's nothing anyone else can do about it if they don't have another 9. They just have to grow, or else. That's what happens with it. That's what the power is about. Okay.
Okay. Great. Thank you.
All right. Any other questions about that chart? Or anything that came up around that? No? Okay. Who's that?
No, this is Callie. Sorry.
Callie. Okay, go on. Yeah.
What if I have can I question a little bit about like the alignment of like your numbers with someone else's, like how that how that
yeah, that really needs a proper reading, Carly, because which we don't have time to do. You both need to have a proper birth reading, and then you can get into the details. That takes a couple of hours to do that properly, and then you ask all the questions. Otherwise, you won't. Yeah, it's not enough time to do something like that here.
Understandable. Thank you.
You can go on the website and book a reading if you like, or I can find you a practitioner, one of the guys, to do it for you. Okay.
Okay. Great. Thank you.
All right. Okay. A few other things I want to talk about. Let's see. I guess this up here. Thanks for that, Carly, for bearing your soul there. And we will go to, I haven't really used this presentation very much. Okay, so. Okay. So how many of you guys are actually interested in the training? Just got some idea of why you come? A few, yeah. Okay, so basically, it allows you to do what I've just shown you. You can decode the secrets of the blueprint for someone's a spiritual seeker so they can get on with their mission. God sends hundreds of millions of light workers, but very few come online because they don't know why they're here. So if you don't know why you're here and you don't have the tools to work through it, then there's a limited amount you can actually do. So what we're doing with this is we're using the spiritual map of life created by the soul contract so that the spiritual seekers can overcome their karma, express their talents, and achieve their goals, and manifest their soul life purpose. That's the thing. We as light workers are always looking for, I know there's something special I've got to find and actualize, and this finds it. It's the soul destiny. That's what this work does. So basically, it's a sort of it's a sacred initiation. You're helping someone come online to their true purpose in life, which is far beyond just making money and surviving down here. Okay. So what happens is that if you're using it as a therapist, a counselor, a coach, or a workshop facilitator, or a trainer, you can give them, as you just saw in that brief demo, an immediate and profound understanding of their issues. And they'll come because these things are already firing up really strongly. And you can use it to accurately guide them throughout all your work with them. If you have other therapies, builds immediate trust because you both know it's true. And it produces very faster and better results in terms of therapeutically, in terms of people growing. Because you're not guessing anymore, you just know what's going on. So people, once they know what's going on, once you've acknowledged what the issues are, you're halfway home in terms of actualizing a really fulfilling life. And most people are flying blind because they don't know. Okay, so it's basically a major catalyst for people to really grow. And so we give you the structure for all the numbers mean and how to prepare readings. As we've just described, we help you. You become the work. We teach you how to deliver readings, and your channel will open so that you become like a conduit for the universe to tell someone who is ready what they need in that moment to grow. And it's massively transformative when you share that information with them, because it's not really you speaking, it's actually the universe coming through you. And this is what I talked about before: full body activation, experiential learning. And we give you ongoing Facebook support group with a peer-to-peer group. And we also, with all of our practitioners, there's hundreds of them. And then we also have Zoom support programs, which are optional extras to pay for getting you out there in the world. We also have a thing called marketing and manifesting your business. Okay, I even put that in there. It's a new one, new workshop we designed. And this is a workshop to help you take the skills, the feminine transmission of this work, and we wrap enough masculine, conscious masculine business structure around it in terms of running a fifth dimensional business, basically a business based on service, not based upon maximizing the bottom line. Well, obviously, you got to make a living. We teach the spiritual principles, or introduce you to the spiritual principles of how we run this business and how we run our mirrors business, the Center of Love and Enlightenment, how we became global businesses, which is completely different to a normal way of running a business. Okay, obviously normal business principles apply, but we're doing it at a much more conscious level. And if you apply those principles, you have a much better chance of success in reaching people with the feminine gift of this work. Okay, and only practitioners can go on that, obviously. So what happens here is that delivering readings gives people a great sense of peace. I mean, you saw how Carly was. How are you feeling now, Carly, after that? You feeling a bit more peaceful, relieved? You want to switch your mic on if you're still there?
Yes.
You're speaking.
Yes. Resonates, speaking straight to everything that I've been trying to answer. Yeah.
Yeah. And this moves you, yeah, it can move you out of feeling a victim or at the effect of the matrix to actually taking charge of your life and moving forward. That's what it does for people. Okay. Because there's a pathway for everybody. And
yeah.
We teach you how to give very specific recommendations based upon wherever you are in your life, so that your clients can align to their true purpose. And that's the most amazing thing, the greatest thing a light worker looks for. What's my purpose and how do I get there? Then they're really happy. And you can touch
Beautiful
people at their at the deepest part of the inner being. You've got a lot of connection. And also you open to a deeper level of yourself. I've been doing this 30 odd years, and it's still, I find it amazing what it does to people. So in terms of their growth. I said all this already. Okay. So if you want to come, running out of time here. Yeah, these are the dates. We'll take questions after that. So 25th, 27th, and 29th and 30th of October on Zoom, 12:30 UK time for 8 hours, 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 AM Pacific. Total exchange is £718 or $835 US approximately. And the deposit is £277 or $322 US. Okay. And if you want to find out more, go to soulcontractreadingtraining.com. And you got my email. You can always email me if you have any questions as well. So about that. So we'll take any final questions on any aspect of this. We're pretty much nearly out of time here. So any other questions, people? Now's your chance. So Melissa, you asking me another question? No.
I am, because I'm so curious about this. So really, when people look online and see life path, that's really just like the tip of the iceberg. You know, life path numbers like 1 through 9, 11, 22, and 33. Are they just kind of like the basis? And then this is like a whole nother level?
This is completely separate
Okay,
system from conventional numerology. You can't correlate the two because it comes out of the frequencies of God in the creation of creation. It's the sound of God you're dealing with. It comes from source, this thing. And there are many systems of divination that are all useful in their own ways. So there's no correlation between the numbers that I've shown you and what you see in conventional numerology, because they're just English numbers for Hebrew frequencies.
okay.
And this is very powerful because it's a pure frequency of God. It's not diluted at all, which is why it's so strong. Which is why Treasure, and you read the book in a day. Average time is 24 to 72 hours because you're connecting with home. It reminds you of who you are, and it's giving you the answer you've always been looking for. Okay, because it's so powerful. So it's a different process altogether. Melissa.
Okay, so not like one's better than the other. This is just really true source coming through frequency.
Yeah, you're basically, these are God's numbers. This is God's frequencies that created each of you. Pure and undiluted. This is why it's so strong. Okay.
Awesome. That's so amazing that you got this download, you and Emil.
But wait, Almira, no, well, Frank got the download. Frank Apple was the source of it in Arizona in the 80s. I trained with him, and then my soul said to him, I just wanted to share this with the world. So I'm sort of continuing. He died in 2007. So I wrote the book, which he didn't. I wrote a book. He didn't finish his book. My mission was to bring the work out to the world.
Oh, beautiful.
On a much bigger scale. So basically, we're part of his lineage. And if you train with us, you become part of that lineage. So it transmits through you to awaken as many people as possible. Because the more people we wake up and raise frequencies, the better the world will be given. And you've seen what's happening in the past 3.5 years, the big mess we're in. It's basically a massive awakening. The idea is to bring high consciousness and to create a new earth, create a better world. This is what this work is about.
I love that you added that there's so many light workers that came down to take on this responsibility, but just aren't awoke. So I think this is so amazing that you added that, because I feel like that's so beneficial, especially with everything that's happening. And I could go on, but I'm not. But thank you so much.
Yeah. I mean, our goal with this work, which is why we have the Your Soul Contract Report .com service, the Soul Contract Report service, is to reach 10 million people with the work, with automated readings, because the affordability factor varies all over the world. If we wake up enough people with it, with those automated readings, and with you guys who are going to train with us, then we change the world. Because high consciousness transmutes low consciousness, and you've seen plenty of low consciousness happen out in the world recently. And so the best way to create a better world is to maximize consciousness with as many people as possible, which is why we do this work. Okay.
Perfect.
That's how you create that's how you can create a better world. Okay.
Yes, I completely agree. And then I just had one more question. So when you come into this life with karma or karmic debt, you're saying that also in the reading, it shows us ways to add more karma credit to kind of become that more power.
So say that last sentence again. So I get that.
Into this lifetime, or this soul coming in with any kind of repetitive karmic debt.
Yes.
And how to build the karmic credit? Is that being the light worker, being awakened, or is it?
It's about directly bringing feeling consciousness to the karmic pattern each of you face and transmuting it. That's why we have divine healing. Okay. And then taking that transmuted gift of service, like for example, I have karmic 3s. I was the shyest kid around. I couldn't speak to anybody. So it's about overcoming that unworthiness. Now I teach with that, but I overcame that. You know, we teach globally, and I have a spiritual karmic 9, massive disempowerment as a kid, but now I catalyze change in others. Okay. It's about working on your karmic patterns specifically. It's the most important thing, guys, because when you do that, your gift starts to come out. And then once you realize, man, that hard stuff is actually my key lesson. I mean, God, she's having a joke, basically. Okay, like that. But basically, if you engage with that stuff, then your mission will come online. But if you avoid it, which is what most people do, because the ego doesn't like pain, you'll get stuck, and you'll grow. And people, you see a lot of people who aren't on the path. They grow old, bitter, and they deteriorate because the patterns are killing them, literally. If you go the other way, you become alive, deliver
Right.
the gift. Life is fulfilling, and it's an amazing space to be in. So this is about getting to that amazing space of actualizing the soul's potential. Is what this work is about.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much for answering that.
Okay. Any other questions before we go?
Very quickly. I've got another one.
Carolyn, go on.
Very, very quick. Does this training stand alone? You know, like you were saying that, you know, if you're a counselor or you're this or that, it can really help. But I guess it stands alone on its own, does it?
Well, you can integrate it with whatever the therapies you have. Okay. As a backbone of pure truth and structure of how someone's life's created. And then you can take whatever their presenting issues are or symptoms, and then you can see it with this top level structure. And then you can bring to bear all your other therapies in a much more targeted manner to actually help your clients or students move forward. Okay.
But does it stand alone? You know, do you need to mix it with another therapy? Or?
It's up to you, really. Some of the practitioners mix it in with other therapies. A lot of them just use it purely as it is. It depends on what your therapeutic mix is. Okay, but the guys who use it, who have lots of other therapies, found that once they give a reading first, and because it breaks through all the ego illusion of what the client perceives is going on, gets to the pure truth, people open up completely, and their growth process is greatly accelerated because they know it's true. Yeah. And it's cut through the illusion unconscious of the ego. Therefore, the progress with all the other therapies is much faster.
Great.
So it's a massive catalyst for growth, however you decide to use it.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. So let's have a look here. There's a few other questions here. Okay. Any other question? Someone's asked if the soul destiny is 5. That's about coming out in the world and speaking truth no matter what. Okay. 9's about trusting your gut. Okay. Yeah, Kajila, if you had a 13-4 as your new soul destiny, it doesn't replace your previous one, just adds an additional one. Okay. Right. I explain, karmic 9s and spiritual karma means you don't trust your initial gut and feel from the soul. Okay, it means that you ask everyone else what you should do when actually the answers are inside you. Okay, that's what that means. All right, we're over time. Thanks, people. That was fun. Thanks for total engagement. We'll hopefully see some of you on the training, and we will have the video out hopefully later in the week when I get a chance to process it.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Bye.
Thank you. Bless you. Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Bye, everybody.